Hello Gemini, thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn, Supportive Oracle Cards, Magical Spell Cards by Lucy Cavendish. Alright, what do we have? Ooh. Gemini, right? Very interesting. Alright, let's get the tarot cards out here first because I'm almost feeling like we gotta see the whole story before we start. This is like an up and down thing, definitely, but let's see how it goes. I think it's going to go well for you at the end. What is this last card? Yeah, see, I don't think you're going to take this lying down. I think at the end you're really going to make something work out. So it may be a roller coaster ride getting there, but let's see what happens. Starting off, you have success with the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is having a lot of mental power, knowing what you want, moving forward towards it, knowing when to say stuff, knowing when to not say stuff. Having a very sometimes regal energy about you. People may think you're letting things slip, but you're not really letting them slip. You're kind of letting things out of the bag purposefully so you can move forward as you wish. That's very interesting because sometimes people do think that. I think about Gemini, like you're letting things slip, and sometimes you're purposely letting things out of the bag without people realizing it. But you got success here. The first leg of the journey, you're doing well. I do feel like you're letting things slip, but it's not really like you're letting it slip. Other people may be thinking you are. You have success. Other people have victory. Like the whole situation is starting off very well. You let some information go. Other people think they got a little intel and truth. You wanted them to have that. You're happy how that's turning out. They're happy how that's turning out. The Emperor happens between the two of you, which is telling me there's a very strong start to this. It starts the way you want it to. This situation definitely starts the way you want it to. Okay, that's simple enough. Doesn't seem very complicated, not really. You keep things going. Ace of Swords and the Courage. I feel like when I get Courage with the Ace of Swords, kind of like you're pushing your luck a little bit. Kind of like, I let some things out of the bag. I showed part of my poker hand. Maybe I'll do that again, but this time I'll do it a little differently. I'll let people think they know what I have, but maybe I won't show everything. I'll just make them think I have. Gemini is really smart. I think people underestimate Gemini a lot. I really do. And I'm getting here, you're kind of like, I'm going to push the boundaries. I'm going to take a little chance. I'm going to take a chance. See how far I can get away with this. When you do that, this time it goes a little wonky. First time it worked perfectly. It worked great. But you're like, hey, let's see if we can repeat that. Let's do that again. But this time when you do it, the Five of Wands shows up. Conflict. The Passion with the Wheel of Fortune shows up in the environment. Something goes left. It just goes the wrong way. It went right the first time. The second time it went left. I don't see you completely surprised. I just feel like you didn't expect it, but it's not out of the realm of a possibility. Kind of like, oh, well, you know, that happens. Conflict. It doesn't work the second time. And the thing is, I feel like you moved on it pretty quickly, thinking, well, while it's still going this way, maybe I'll just give out a little more and keep up that momentum, and it just kind of jacked back on you. When this moment happens, I almost feel like other people take over or take control of something. It just doesn't work the way you expect it to. And the Three of Cups shows up in the environment. Whatever it is you put out there, it's like almost like somebody's changing the total game. It's kind of like we were playing poker, and now you want to play 21. Or is that blackjack? I think it's blackjack. It's like two different games. Both gambling games, but two different... The rules are different. You know what I mean? When this happens, other people seem to be very happy about this. But for you, you're like, oh no, 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 no. I was planning things along the lines of poker. Can you roll with it? Yeah, but at first you don't like this. You're like, no, 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 no. I had plans. I had plans I was going to use this for. No, I didn't want that to happen. I don't think people realize that you're really not happy about what happened here. People change the rules and you don't like it. That's the Ten of Pentacles. The thing is, between the two of you is the Hermit card, or two or whoever, however more there are. So you're not really expressing that you're not happy, but you're not. You're not. You're kind of keeping it to yourself with the Hermit card. I don't feel like energy's coming forward. I don't feel like you're letting people know that you're not really happy about this. But you're kind of like, oh, that didn't really work the way I wanted it to. I feel like you pull back for a second, and you're kind of like, all right, well, maybe we'll go back to poker. Maybe if I just wait for a second and just kind of like pull back for a second, let me see what happens. The Four of Pentacles shows up. It's kind of like, no, we're not playing poker anymore. We're playing blackjack. I can play that. I can play that. I could do that. I feel like that's how you're handling it. Like, I can do that. All right, I can do that. What do I need now? What do I need to do with that? Because I still have a goal. I feel like you have a goal. You're like, all right, we're playing a different game here. So, let me see what I can do with this. The Four of Pentacles is telling me it's not changing. Once the rules change, whoever's changing those rules, they're sticking to them. You're holding to the side for a moment to just see, like, are they really going to stick with these rules, or are we going to change again? Is there some other game I don't know about we're going to play? What are we going to do? Once you realize that the situation is holding to this new game, the new rules, you got the Chariot with the King of Swords. You're like, all right, hold on. I don't like how that turned out, but now this situation is kind of unstable, so I can't hold too long. Once I get an idea, I got to move forward with it, and I have an idea, so I'm going to move forward with it. That's the Chariot with the King of Swords. Kind of like, all right, this is how we're playing right now. I know this isn't going to stay forever this way, so while it is, I actually see my in. Here we go. I'm going to just do it. You're just kind of like, all right, I'm just going to do it. As it is, you've already been disappointed once. You've had really high highs and really low lows. You're kind of like, oh, might as well throw the dice again. Might as well keep moving. When you do that, things go your way again. You got the Mermaid Magic Seduction with the King of Wands. You go from the King of Swords to the King of Wands. Communication turns into action. You move forward. You take a chance on whatever this next spot is. Kind of like, all right, this is the game we're playing now? Well, this is what I want to do. Another win. Kind of like you get a win, a loss, and now you're getting a win again. But each time it's dramatic. Like when you had that first win, great win. When you had that loss, bad loss. This win, another great win. It's kind of like up and down, up and down. When this happens, people don't think that it's going to stick. So they're not really upset about it, but there is a slight tinge of jealousy here. But people are kind of like watching you because you won. It's like you won big, lost big, won big. They're watching and they're kind of like, well, that's all right. The Gemini won't win forever. They go back and forth. They don't seem to be bothered by it with the Fool card. The Seven of Cups is kind of like they're just kind of watching you a little closer. Like, do you know something I don't know? Like, what do you know? But Justice is also there. Like, for every big loss, there's a big win. That's how they're looking at it. For every big loss, or every big win, there's a big loss. Every big loss, there's a big win. So they're not seeming to be bothered by it at this point. At the same time, though, you seem to be aware of it. You're kind of like, all right, if I win too much, if I win too much, I'm going to be bending people out of shape. And why does it have to be an issue? I don't know. You've got the Queen of Cups with the healing coming in next. You're playing nice with somebody, but I feel like you know that they're a little jealous of you. They don't like it when you win too much. If you win too much, they get a little bothered by that. They're kind of like, it's because you had that one great loss, and they seem to think that you have lost. They seem to know. I don't know. I didn't think you were sharing that. I thought that was more private. But it seems to be they think they know that you lose when you lose. I feel like you're staying away from them. They're staying away from you. You seem to be aware of this jealous energy. It does seem jealous the more I pull on it. Yet this energy does like you. It's a weird matchup. Because I see they have the Two of Cups with letting go. I feel like they're going to have another win. But I feel like you've bowed out for a time. it's like for this next round of the game, you've kind of bowed out, and now they're having their turn to win. Whatever this game is, they're winning now. They got the Two of Cups with the letting go. The letting go seems to be like they're not going to bother you. They're leaving you alone. They're dealing with their own success. At the same time, you have magical powers with the Temperance. I feel, again, you're pulling back and kind of regrouping. Kind of like, yeah, if I win too much, this other person, they're going to be a problem. And it's not worth it to me. I'm just going to pull back for now. I think we're talking about the person. I think we're trying to get down to the person you're dealing with. Because you got 4 cards telling me this is something that there's like a very strong attraction between you and this person. It doesn't have to be romantic, but this could be like a person that like they're really good friends and they're really difficult enemies sometimes. Could be a sibling that sometimes they're all for you, other times they're all against you. Something like that. Because when I'm getting the true love come to me, it feels like this is like I don't feel like for most of you this is romantic. For some of you it definitely could be. I understand that it's a general read, but it's kind of like your greatest ally, your worst enemy in the same person. They're your greatest ally and your worst enemy at the same time. And I'm getting like there's a balance that keeps going back and forth with this person. You got the 4 of Swords, the 3 of Swords, and the 7 of Wands, which is telling me when you get success, when you're around this person and you have success, you have to seem to fight to keep it, but they sometimes will help you fight to get it. At the same time, there's great devastation and there's great losses and great upsets with this person. And it's kind of like every now and then if you just step back from this person and get a breath, it seems like you can kind of evaluate like where they are currently. I really feel like the whole point of this reading is like they need you to really see this person as like this is literally who they are. As long as they're in your life, this is how this is going to be. And it's almost like you kind of see that, but they're kind of like I almost feel like the energy is saying maybe you want to be more choosy about when you subject yourself to this energy, because it's very is that manic where it's like really good or really bad? I think that's manic. I'm not 100% sure. But it feels like that's this type of person. They're like either really good or really bad. And I just feel like you don't want to be around this energy too much. You want to kind of regulate how long and how often you have to be around this energy. This is kind of toxic in my opinion. Less is more. You seem to be getting the gist of it when you pull back. Like you have to pull back every now and then. They're saying you want to kind of like, I feel like they're saying as much as you can within respect to the situation, you kind of want to detach from this person. It may seem like they're your greatest ally, but the fact that they're your greatest enemy too at the same time, it seems like it's a very toxic relationship. They're like, this isn't really good. If you at least see it and know what you're dealing with, I guess that's that, and you're going to do what you want with it. It just feels like this is somebody you're very tied to emotionally, and so aren't they to you. I don't know. I feel like they just want to point out that this is quite toxic. As long as you realize it's always going to be that way, I think that's the point. Because it's almost like anytime you get involved with this person, you have to fight to win. And even when you win, sooner or later you'll have a great loss too. So they're kind of like, think about that. Is the great win that worth it? Like if you're winning $10 just to lose $10 later, if you're winning $1,000 just to lose $1,000 later, if you win $1 million just to lose $1 million later, maybe that's a better way to put it. If you win $1 million and then this person takes it away from you, like, how does that really work out? Like, I think they're trying to say, like, it just gets more and more intense as time goes by. Because I feel like over time, it's like, win $1, lose $1. Well, it's $1. Win $10, lose $10. Well, it's only $10. Win $100, lose $100. I guess that's not that bad. Lose $1,000, or win $1,000, lose $1,000. Or what if, I feel like sometimes it happens in reverse. Like, you lose $1,000, then you win it back. And you're just kind of like, well, it broke even. I don't know. It's just they're saying it gets more intense the longer this goes. Keep that in mind too, and be sure you want to stay connected with it. All right. Whatever the message is supposed to be, I feel like they've made their point. So I feel like, again, they just want to make sure you like really understand what you're dealing with and realize it's just going to get more and more intense as you keep going. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.